I just thought I would make this clip concerning what is occurring in Europe right now. All these supposed refugees who are being invited into Germany and other parts of Europe. And what is the impetus behind the likes of Angela Merkel asking all these people to show up? People who just go there to get money, to get welfare. Now, I was listening to a radio program, and the presenter on that program said that it was some sort of Stockholm syndrome, which, although could be presented as a reasonable explanation, I don't believe it is. Stockholm syndrome requires the hostage to be taken by force before the hostage starts empathizing, sympathizing with the hostage taker. With the case of Merkel, she invited these rabid dogs, which is all they really are. Say about a quarter of them Syrian refugees. 3/4 of them, they're just the scum and shit, which countries of the Middle East and North Africa set loose by emptying their prisons and their mental hospitals. That's all it really boils down to. Yet Angela Merkel welcomes these people in, gives them more rights than the indigenous Europeans. And I'm trying to think of what would explain such treason, you know. Yeah, I look at it this way. It could be an explanation such as it's to do with the reversal of order, which is what you would say a satanic way of countering the order of God. So she's bringing in all these people, and the indigenous Europeans are the ones who are becoming refugees, while the so-called refugees, and the Jews, who are most likely Sabbateans, are now the new permanent residents. So the indigenous people, they're not wanted anymore, or they're not wanted if they wish to be free. These people are being used to support a parasite population who will say, oh, we're doing this for Islam and whatever. They're just doing it for themselves. They're criminals. And there's no doubt, although it may be called under various names, a type of dhimmitude is being foisted upon, in the case of Merkel, on indigenous Germans. So we can say reversal of order. And what makes this more interesting? Now, I've been looking up Angela Merkel's background, and you can find stuff on her paternal side, her father's side, but on her mother's side, not much at all. Turns out, that they are Polish, and the name that's associated with her maternal side is Vax, or what you would say, Wax, or W-A-C-H. So you say Vax or Wax. You can draw a Jewish conclusion to that. You have names such as Vaxman, and the background seems to be very Jewish, or if I dare say, very Sabbatean. And as it is a maternal bloodline, she may not be a practicing Jew, but tribally, by maternal bloodline, she is. Myself, I'm not going to put too much substance into her supposed maternal background. But when you look at what she does, what she continues to do, you can't say it's a Stockholm syndrome. Is it possible that she's got herself in a situation through her big mouth she doesn't know what to do? Here in Sydney, Australia, we had the execution of Curtis Chen, who was shot dead outside a police building by an Iranian-born Iraqi Kurd. And the Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, he was like a deer, caught up in headlights, just staring. He didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. And also notice now that Malcolm Turnbull is now boasting of his Jewish background. For what reason? Is there something that's like a secret radio station I don't know about, which gives out orders? And you have to ask, why are all these things coming into play now? As I understand, Malcolm Turnbull is going over to see Angela Merkel. For what reason? I do not know. People say, it must be to do with trade and things of that nature. But trade relationships are between companies, not between government leaders who are supposedly of the same background, the same maternal background. So that's one conspiracy theory. Read into it what you will. I don't really peddle this, It's something that's interesting to know. Now, as far as I'm concerned, criminals are criminals, regardless of whether they're fake refugees or leaders of countries. So, the next thing I could bring up is that Angela Merkel wants to be above all other Germans. Now, by bringing in all these criminal refugees, there's a likely possibility that anyone who opposes her will have their bloodline soiled. Let's say there's a indigenous German who might pose a serious challenge to her, and she would say, I'm Angela Merkel, I'm a real German, and whoever it is might say, well, I'm a real German too. She might say, Because she reminds me of the Swedish chef on the Muppet Show. My family is German, yeah. And whoever the opponent would say, well, mine is too. Now, if that opponent, let's say, for some unfortunate reason, has a female relative who is raped by a supposed refugee or has a baby to a supposed refugee, it stains the whole family. Because she could just say, yes, but you should agree with me, yeah, because your niece or your daughter, she had a black baby, yeah. I mean, that's gonna put a stain on whoever's career that's opposing her. And she'll peddle that. No, I'm a real German. I'm as white as snow. Don't vote for my opponent. There's a nigger baby in that pile. And it's a way that she would feel good about herself. But it's not only because she may win or lose, but it's about feeling good, not doing good. So, the term for that is shit in your ice cream, Well, why vote for this guy, he's not going to save Germany. He allowed someone to shit in his ice cream. And if a female relative of an opponent gets raped by a refugee, she could just say, you want this guy to protect you, or this woman to protect you. She can't even protect her own family. Refugees raped a relative of hers. She couldn't do nothing. She doesn't care. And that's the term for that is pissing on your cutlery. Because even though you can put in boiling water, you're going to know that someone pissed on that cutlery, and the image of that will never go away. It's not about what she thinks is doing good, it's what she thinks that makes her feel good. And as I said, we don't know the exact impetus behind their actions. They could be on the take, someone's paying them, George Soros is paying them. They could be saboteurs, we don't know. And it's important not to get drawn into that, because if you start wasting all your time on conspiracy theories, they may be true, they may not be true. You waste time in dealing with the problem. So, but, from my point of view, it just seems all these coincidences are all occurring at the same time. And funnily enough, all the people involved in these coincidences are claiming to be of a Jewish maternal bloodline. You can read into that what you will, but there's no doubt there's problems and the world's going to change forever. The indigenous people of Europe are now becoming refugees within their own countries, and yet the criminal populations of the Middle East and Africa are now becoming the permanent residents. They don't have to move. There's no reason for them to move. Dhimmitude is established, and you've got to ask just one question: at whose behalf?